that Yorubas would say an adage. I'll translate
You
it.
have to, because
That ohun tí ọwọ́ mi ò tó màá fi gọ̀ọ̀gọ̀ màá fi fà. In literal meaning means that where you are not meant to get to yet, you are using force to get there. You understand? Now we are a country that is being run on what's it called, on borrowed funds. That is without a doubt. You understand? Now we are having a budget whereby we want to service debt alone
over 8 trillion.
with about 8 trillion over 8 trillion. Out of how much is our budget itself? Now
26
look at that 26 trillion. We all said it here now that we are using 61% of that budget to pay for our recurrent expenditures, our recurrent expenses. That means they would have to pay federal government salaries, service, this same loan we're talking. I mean, that is there already. It tells you that if Bola Tinubu was a man that is interested in real governance of Nigeria, instead of announcing this barbaric budget that they brought out, he should just announce a state of emergency in the country.
But it's the president.
That Nigeria is not capable at the moment of financing anything itself. Let us know.
I will stay on you now, Amit, before I go to him. Now, the president came on board, and many persons were wondering, okay, renewed though. Some argued for, some argued against. And this is we have this number of ministers we are having. We've never seen anything like this before.
In Nigeria,
the ministers will come on board. They will have their cars. They will have their SSAs. They will have their own social media boys, the Twitter boys, political hallelujah boys. You know, the Facebook noisemakers, the TikTok shouters, and all sorts. Who will be getting paid? What will be getting paid as stipends. Which, in fact, when your friend or brother gets into government, you shout congratulations. So that does not look like getting stipends. If he truly wanted a situation where capital budget, which is what will affect Nigerians, do you think he should have cut down on some of this?
That is what I'm saying exactly. That we should not have something as ridiculous and barbaric as what we have today. Why? Number one, you have a full, or let me say an excessive ministerial appointment.
About 46?
48.
48, I beg your
48 ministers.
With the 3 new ones, 45 plus 3, 48.
Yes, 48 ministers. You understand? Now with 48 ministers, look at what it will cost Nigeria to manage these people. I mean, that is a problem on its in its entirety. So what we are saying in essence is that Nigeria is not matured enough as a country to continue to bill the expenses that the government is putting on Nigeria. Now you are going to continue on to tow on the path of borrowing money like your predecessor did that didn't pay him, and continue to plunge Nigeria into a crisis of debt for the next years to come, for the generations to come. That is a situation that would cost us, because before you know it, Nigeria is that's the problem. Now, the major problem is that Nigeria do not even have a way to repay back this loan. That is a clear-cut plan of paying back loans. We are not producing, we are not manufacturing anything. We are all about import. So there is not even any way to generate money to service this debt.
Very quickly now, over to you now, Daniel. Last year, 2023, 21.8 trillion. 2024, 26 trillion. An increase in the budget. Recurrent expenditure remains on the high side. Now, they are benchmarking the dollar. As of today, I think I saw 1,200 and something.
Let's say 1,101 naira.
Yeah, I saw 1,200.
Or 111 naira.
They are benchmarking it for 700 naira. Daniel Anyantoyi, realistically speaking, today is October 19th. It's 111 plus. And we are heading into December. What mathematics? What Cardozoism? I mean,
what magic?
Yeah, are we going to do to come down to 700? What are we doing? What's the plan?
You see, the truth of the matter is that it's not that sometimes when these questions come up like this, those in the affairs of governance, those in the making the policies, implementing the policies, the political actors, it's not that they are not aware of what to do. But the problem often is that we lack, I won't say we anyway.
Nigeria as a country.
Yes, Nigeria as a country. They lack political will. You understand?
Yeah.
There's this lack of political will. There's this lack of mindset. There's this lack of trust. This lack of personal willingness to ensure that things work. The economy itself, what we need to do is to just ensure that we boost the economy. Mind you, most of these people, most of these politicians, most of these government officials, they go to other countries. Yes, they go to other countries. Because by the time you see things happening over there, my question often is that why will they not want to ensure that what they see over there, they bring it over to this country, Nigeria, to replicate it? And so that is why we need to understand the aspects why we should know that these persons are failing. I mean, just think, what will it take a government official, let's say a minister, or a governor, or even the president, to say, yes, what I've seen over there, let me bring it to replicate it in Nigeria? What will take them to say, okay, the situation we have in Nigeria, we have tried to go to the left way, the left part is not working. Okay, the next thing we should do is for us to take the right. But the problem is that there is no willingness, no patriotism. They lack that mindset to change Nigeria for good. And as well, corruption is the main ball of the game. Because of corruption, we are having a lot of things. We are having lacks. We are having all these things happening. So I think the best thing for us to do as a country is to ensure that we meet up. We have people in power that we want change, really.
I can see the
they won't change, really.
I can see the
and that's just the truth.
I can see the energy, Daniel. Very quickly, let's move over to you, Amit. How are we going to arrive at 700?
See,
I can't see I don't know.
There is no mathematics. There is no mathematics or mathematics that the government wants to do to arrive at that 700 that they are assuming. If one problem still continues in Nigeria, which is the problem of having to import and a problem of lacking anything that is of that yields money through export. If we are not trying to solve that internal problem, there is no way, because it will take, in fact, there is no way for us to even bring the price of dollar at the moment to even 1,000 naira, not to talk of 700 naira. So we are in a complete case of how do I put it? A complete case of a problematic case that cannot, with problems that cannot be resolved at the moment. You understand?
I'm getting you.
So there is no way that we want to arrive at 700 naira. There is no logical way possible for us to arrive, because if there was a logical way, immediately the CBN governor was appointed, immediately the finance minister was appointed, we should have been seeing green light. And Yoruba would say that a Saturday that will be good, we'll see it from Friday.
And that is why I said
a Sunday that will be good, you see it from Saturday. So at the early stage now, we are not seeing any sign of the dollar, of the naira yielding positively against the naira, it means that at the later end of this tenor, we will be in a complete mess as a country.
Now remember that the government is presently working on refineries. And the idea is that the Port Harcourt refinery, which is Nigeria's largest owned government-owned refinery, will be working at over 60%. Working at 60% capacity. Perhaps the idea is that will come into play. We'll begin to export. Also, probably they are putting into mind that Dangote refinery will be starting operations soon, and that is the reason why, because there is no magic for us to reduce. I mean, to Daniel. No.
Sorry, Shegun. One of the major problems that I have seen over time of Nigeria's government is the fact that they are too adamant. Go and listen to businessmen, people who are in the industry, they have continued to say to eat on it over time that Nigeria cannot survive as a country running its own refineries itself. It is as simple as Nigeria giving back the refineries back to private owners. Let it be managed. Look at what it cost Dangote within the few years for it to have that big refinery that he has here in Lagos already. Look at what it cost him. And Nigeria as a country, has not been able to successfully put a refinery in place.
You are still talking about refinery when we have even the Nigeria hair.
You know why if we go into that topic, we are going to be having several.
Yeah, I'm just saying that what we need to do.
No, the government has said that come December.
Okay.
The refinery.
Come December.
Okay.
The Port Harcourt refinery, the largest government-owned refinery in Nigeria, we work at 60%.
I can assure you that it is a fable.
God will spare us beyond December.
December is just a few weeks away. By the way,
I'm not being. I'm neither pessimistic or optimistic.
December is not even up to 10 weeks away.
I'm just an observer in this.
December is not up to 10 weeks away. December now.
So I'm just thinking. You know, when you think to the right, you think to the left. I'm thinking, okay, perhaps the government is thinking we have Port Harcourt coming on board. There's also a plan that in March, I think it's March 2024. That I think Kaduna refinery, one of the refineries, we also come on board to a certain extent.
Okay.
Perhaps they also think Dangote is coming on board, and with these 3 legs, they feel okay, we may be able to stand well or stand strong. Yes, some of us are, like I said, I'm neither here nor there. I'm in the middle, here. Now, very quickly now, do you think that is what they are thinking about, or what plans are we looking at? The other time you were just a little emotional and angry. Now we are just trying to be realistic.
Yes. Well, it's, of course, we have to also keep hope, of course, that the refinery.
I'm not
the refinery will, let's say, from what the presidency have said, that the refinery will work with the December. Let's say, but of course, we have heard in recent time that the Dangote refinery, even despite that we have that now in Lagos, would not change the issues as expected.
So we'll be exporting.
Now, yes.
It will be good for our naira.
So basically, for me, I think the best thing is that first, aside from all these refinery, all these policies, let's believe that they will be able to do something. But I think where I have a grouse is the aspect where we will be having a huge debt now. Really, it's really worrisome, because if you look at, if for a family of 5, a family of 6, you cannot run a family on debt. The head of the house will die of thinking if the family is built on Bomuli Lanta.
What's Bomuli Lanta?
Bomuli Lanta is all those, or usually those loans, debts, those small debts and all that.
How do you know Bomuli Lanta?
I would know. I'm a journalist, of course. I'm in the streets. Okay. So what do you expect? So it's clear. A family will crash. The family will be so immersed in problem if that family lives on debt. The same thing is applicable to a country like Nigeria. We can't continue to live in debt. We can't continue to service debt. In fact, somebody was saying some time ago that they have used each Nigerians. I don't know how correct it is anyway.
No,
that
it was not correct.
They have been able to use each Nigerians, of course, that each Nigerians is now owing this particular amount of debt. So it's very important, okay?
If you look at the number of debts Nigeria has accumulated over the years, if you start attaching it to one Nigerians each,
of course, so
I feel what is painful is that we are going for fresh ones.
And we don't have options. There's no options
because there's no way to survive.
No way, because their salaries will be paid.
Yes.
And the government will have to be run.
Yes.
A lot of things will have to be put in place, and documents will be printed. So there's no way with the situation. We don't have our expenditures is higher than our revenue. So definitely we have to borrow, but we have to be careful so that we don't fall into a situation whereby another country will now come one day and say, well, you are owing so much, let's take over your country. You've sold your country. So we need to be careful.
All right, very quickly, still on this subject, but on another topic. In this subject, the National Assembly announced that they will be buying SUVs for their members. Of course, these are elected senators and elected members of the House of Representatives. Members of the Senate and the House of Representatives, the red and green chamber respectively, will be having new cars. unexpectedly Nigerians went on fire on social media. You could smell the anger. People are boiling. Our people have been driven more and more into poverty. More and more persons can feel less members of their family. However, the stakeholders, the political elites are going to be getting new cars on the purse, on the budget, on the account of the average Nigerian. People are saying, we know you are supposed to buy cars, but looking at the state the average Nigerian is, looking at the state Nigerians are, can't you people temper justice with mercy? Even if you want to buy yourself cars, go and buy the ones that are made here. Some of these guys, these locally made cars now. Go and buy some of them. And to an extent, reduce it. We know, like we were discussing off air just before we came on board, it is not possible for you to say you have a senator. And you will not. It is the responsibility of Nigeria as a country to provide cars for their senator. It is the responsibility of Nigeria as a country to provide cars for members of the Green Chamber. But in the name of understanding what is happening in Nigeria, we, the National Assembly, are opting for so cars because we understand what is going on in the country. Couldn't we have gone that way?
Shegun, I do not think the best way was the approach by the Senate and the House of Representatives. You won't tell me that a senator or a member of the House of Representatives that was elected to work for Nigerians does not have a car of his own.
Of course,
you can't tell me that a senator in the Senate House of Nigeria's National Assembly does not have a bulletproof car of his own.
It may not.
A senator, it is impossible.
A senator may.
Do you know why?
Look at
most of these senators,
no,
chill. It is very difficult for you to tell me that in Nigeria Senate today, you will identify 30 senators that are first timers.
Now, since you are going
these
to
people have been in system. Shegun, these people have been in system. These people have money, personal money.
No. I'm coming. I'm trying to counter you. Let's take this new Labour Party.
See, they are the most disappointing set of
the Kaduna House of Assembly member that they said was
the Labour Party senators are the most disappointing set of members of National Assembly.
I'm coming to your response.
Okay.
Now, if you work in XYZ company, in XYZ position, it is expected that you should have certain things.
Okay.
Certain perks should come with that job. Do you understand my point?
Yes.
So, I'm talking about the private sector now, for example. Private sector, you cannot call somebody a so position member and he will be
checking. And,
do you get my point?
Shegun, do you realize that in the salary that is being paid to members of the National Assembly, there is a car allowance there? Do you realize that these people, aside from their salary, they get car allowance, get wardrobe allowance, get fuel allowance, get feeding allowance? This allowance that they are collecting per month is roughly the gross income of an average Nigerian.
Well, what I'm saying, you asked if they do not have cars before, bulletproof cars.
Yes. If they do not, let's assume that the new, especially the Labour Party senators, they are new guys, and let's assume this one is an assumption. This is not all Labour Party senators that are new. Members of the National Assembly. Let us put that on note.
It's not all of them.
Yes. You can go and research.
Which one
now,
before 2023?
I'm coming. Now, let's assume that these guys are completely new. They do not have the money as the old eggs that are there to do certain things themselves. Are you with me? Go and check the budget. Go and check the average salary of a Nigerian senator. Go and check the allowances being paid. I'm telling you again that the monthly allowance, the monthly feeding allowance, monthly wardrobe allowance of a Nigerian senator, not the salary, it's an allowance. Yes. Monthly wardrobe allowance or feeding allowance of a Nigerian senator is about ×2 of the gross income. That is the gross income of an average Nigerian that will be earned over 12 months. In 12 months, rather.
So you are saying
I'm telling you that if we are in a country where governance is at the fore of our leaders, if they are passionate, if they really want to govern Nigerians, what they should be about is not getting cast as at this moment, because traditionally what they earn as senators, what they get as allowances as members of the National Assembly, it is far more what will cost them or what will enable them to be able to afford cars themselves rather than still taking a chunk out of Nigeria's stringent budget to get cars for themselves.
Over to you, Daniel. He is saying you already guys are coming on board. What you have is sweet enough. What you have is good enough. You do not need cars. Do you share a similar opinion?
Yes, of course,
they can afford it themselves.
Yeah, that will be bought by the government. That's what I'm saying.
Of course, if you talk about 130 million naira SUV, it's something really,
it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. It's huge. You understand when you look at the average man, and just imagine what a common Nigerian, an average Nigerian, will be thinking out there, looking at as representative. Mind you, these are people that claimed that they are going to be serving Nigerians. See, listen, I need us to really understand one thing about service.
I'm telling you.
And working. Serving.
No.
I'm more of a servant of Nigeria than these people.
It's very important for us to understand the difference between serving and the difference between working. You mentioned the aspect of the private sector. Yes, sir. This is serving. They claimed they want to serve Nigerians. If you claim you want to serve Nigerians,
we did not elect
and
them
at the
to
same
go and
time
make
you are
themselves
making
rich.
the same Nigerians to suffer.
They are not.
You are making the same Nigerians to go hungry.
At the first instance, they were not even elected to make themselves rich. They were elected to serve the masses.
No, that's just the reality. Recently, I was speaking with somebody. I was speaking with a member of the House of Representatives in this current administration, and he told me that majority of those that are in the House of Assembly, in the Senate, in the National Assembly, the majority of these persons are not paupers. They have made their money even before they came on board.
Did that person reject, say he does not want to be part of this? That's honorable you are talking about. That
We really didn't go there. But we didn't go there. But he said they are not paupers. Okay. Now, he said as they are, the majority of them, they have made their money even before they got there. And that's the reality. So the truth is, I wonder why can't each of them, saying they are serving Nigerians, can they afford to buy their cars by themselves from whatsoever they are earning at the National Assembly? Must it be from the budget of this country? Must it be from our funds?
It is ridiculous.
Knowing full well that Nigerians, people out there are suffering, my brother.
Would it not even
people
sound very ridiculous to the ears of an average Nigerian that has not been able to eat properly for about 2 months? That a senator, that the person elected with their own vote is getting a car of 130 million naira.
Guess what, guys? Somebody somewhere a few days ago was sharing
130 million.
A good story about herself, about how she started 2023 with a salary of 20,000 naira.
God bless you.
And as of
today it increased to 50,000 naira. When I saw that update from you, I almost dropped a tear. That's to tell you the realities of average Nigerian. Imagine someone going to church to give testimony time in the whole of a congregation, come out to say that at the start of 2023, my salary was 20,000. But thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. My salary is now 50,000.
And that is not just about Nigeria.
How ridiculous that is. Now imagine that kind of person hearing that the senator or the rep member that she voted with her vote is getting a car of 130 million.
No, that's the level.
See, listen, getting a take home of 50,000.
See, listen. Let me tell you. That's the level they want Nigerians to be.
Are you both agreeing that they did not deserve a car?
They did not deserve
it.
100%. See, listen.
Deserve it.
Come. Hold on. Are you telling me that they don't have the car before now? No, the reality is clear. The reality is clear. These people just, and what you mentioned now,
they are enriching themselves.
See, listen, the system is clear. The rich keep getting richer.
Daniel, sorry, you are not supporting that so and so person is in so and so exalted position, and that this position automatically, regardless of if it's Olale Konlabode in that position, regardless of if it's Amid Fateh in that position, regardless if it's Adeniyi Sulaiman in that position, what belongs to that position is A, B, C, D, E.
And that will be.
I know. I'm saying. Are you saying we should stop tagging pecs to positions?
It is possible to have that particular position you are alluding to That is if Nigeria is among the first 10 richest country in the whole world.
So
Poor country for crying out
If you want to
loud.
go by the analogy you just made now, are you with me? Saying that we want to, what's it called, take position with the personalities of the persons holding
no,
the,
I'm thinking the other way. I'm not.
That's why I said earlier that we cannot completely say that, oh, these people should not get what they are getting. That is why I did not give them any exception when it comes to their salaries and the allowances they were taking. I mean, you can go ahead and take that. I do not have problems with that. I mean, it's your salary. You are working in one way or the other, and you have to get paid for the job you're doing. You need allowances on certain things. You need to get those allowances. But what I'm saying in essence is that, to the detriment of Nigerians, that 130 million naira SUV is completely ridiculous.
But hold on, if we are attaching this to the work that they are doing, we are saying, okay, this is the job they are doing, to the position. And yes, the position is attached to the work they are doing. We are saying, okay, they go to the house, they sit down, and they discuss, they deliberate about how the country will get better and all that. The reality is, can't we reduce the level of the work they do? Can't we have a part-time National Assembly members? Must it be full-time? What are they doing there? They sit down, they talk, they deliberate and say, this is the policy. Can't they make it a part-time basis? Of course, if they do it twice or once in a month, they will still deliberate whatever thing they want to deliberate.
Remember that recently, before they went on recess, the Senate president sent prayers.
Yes! Prayers into inbox.
He actually said, before he changed it to prayers, he said the clerk
of the house has
going to send money
for them to go and leave.
A particular senator from Ondo State forwarded the, you know what they call, what's it called now? The credit
alert.
The credit alert. Sent it to somebody that used to work with him, that I got to see it, and the amount I saw then was 2 million naira.
Oh, welcome to Africa.
And that was for, how many senators do we have? 109 senators?
Yes.
That's 2 multiplied by 1.
They have not started working.
That's 2 times. I'm sorry, my mathematics is
poor,
but
that was even when
they have not even started working. They're already receiving 2 million naira each.
420 million naira.
Then
welcome to Nigeria.
That, oh, we're on air. Then he now said, oh, they'll send prayers to your mail.
See, listen, this is one of the reasons why Nigeria has remained where it is. This is one of the reasons why we have remained a poor country.
That the Senate president will not even get 2 million naira.
These people,
I don't think
come on.
Get what they will get.
I mean,
these people are just impoverishing us.
Different. I mean, so that's what we are saying. We are not saying that they should not even get these allowances. We are saying that, look at that 130 million they are going to use to buy.
Now we are talking about
SUVs.
I'm sorry, I mean.
No,
Shegu,
very quickly. Shegu, very quickly. 130 million naira times 109 senators. Do you know the number of billions that is costing Nigeria? Now
we are not talking about members of the House of Reps. 360.
Now we are now going back to the member of the House of Rep. That is how many? That is, now add them together, the entire National Assembly.
That's huge.
We are having hundreds of billions rather, being spent on a vehicle. It's not even like you want to buy a fleet of it, on a vehicle per person. It is completely bulletproof. It is completely ridiculous.
Quick question to you, Hamid Fateh. You become a senator today. Will you reject your car?
See, that was a move. Yes, I will reject it. Fantastic. If those specs, my salary is there, my allowances is there, I will reject that car.
Polar question.
Yes, I will reject that car. I will reject that car.
Don't put any clause.
I will reject that car. There is no clause. I will reject that car.
The future is looking at you.
Yes, I will reject the car.
If it's not X, it will probably be another social media. They'll bring out this video.
I won't even be a politician anyways, but I will reject that car. I will reject that car.
Daniel Ayantoye, you become a member of the Green Chamber today. Member of the House of Representatives. Honorable sir, you're supposed to sign this. They are bringing your car for you. This and this. Will you reject the car?
I will not only reject the car. I will move a motion in the house, in the floor of the house, to stop people, others from getting that car. Yeah, it's very important.
Strong-willed young men we have in the studio, strong personalities here, speaking directly to the problem of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and not just doing that, saying that if they were the ones in these positions, they will automatically, importantly, reject these cars. Very quickly, I will move to the last topic of the day, and this is something that does concern every single person, regardless of if you are a bourgeoisie or you are a proletariat, rich or poor. Every single person in Nigeria is affected by this, and I bring it to you, my brothers and sisters, my fathers and mothers, wherever you're watching this from. Insecurity is back. insecurity is back at its peak. We are having security challenges right, left, and center. It is now a catastrophe. What exactly are our security chiefs doing? Remember when they came on board? I'm trying to get his title now. The chief of army staff. I don't want to title him wrongly. Mr. Lagbaja, but I'm trying to get his title in my head now. It's somehow not coming up. Was trying to be everywhere. There was chaos in Jos that time. No, not in Jos, in Plateau State.
Plateau.
He went to the safe havens. He went to mobilize them, and they were doing this press up thing. And a couple of pictures and videos we've seen after was him, trying to be on top of the situation. Now we've had kidnappings
going to the
southwest. In the
southwest.
Let's start from the southwest. That is even believed to be safe. Everywhere in the newspapers this week alone, kidnapping here, kidnapping there, children here. In the northwest, kidnappings. A friend of mine said, if we can be having kidnappings in Kano, because Kano is even the cosmopolitan city in the north after Abuja. Probably Kano is the biggest place, and it's more like a Lagos kind of.
Not probably, it is the biggest.
Yes, and then we are seeing kidnappings in Kano. Of course, the usual suspects, Zamfara, kidnappings. Look at the school the other day. What is going on in the southwest, in Oyo State? It looks like I saw a story Amotekun and the military were trying to, combat another crisis. What is going on? Insecurity is back at its peak. Insecurity challenge is back at its peak.
In fact, the issue of insecurity in this country
is really, at least let's even be safe.
Very, 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 very simple.
PMS. Let's still be safe to an extent.
It's really worrisome, because if you look at the insecurity rate in Nigeria currently, it's worrisome. This issue has been on since even before 2015. And I'm really surprised that we are still talking about this now, because if you go by what the APC, then opposition party, was saying in 2015, that they are going to make sure that they bring insecurity to an end, including this current President Bola Tinubu, was part of the campaign train of Buhari then. And they were saying this insecurity will be a foregone issue. It will be, we will not have insecurity again, we will not have this, we will not have that, we will believe Nigeria will be safe. But today, 2023, insecurity is at its peak.
Right,
so it's really surprising.
Amid Fateh, insecurity. People cannot eat. People that are buying so and so noodles, let's not advertise for them, they didn't pay, are now buying the lesser ones. So now at least let's eat. If we cannot eat what we can eat, let's survive.
Again, I believe that some of our leaders in this country are in a way profiting from the rise in insecurity that we have in Nigeria today. And there in my head, I do not see any doubt about that. I believe strongly that some of our leaders are highly benefiting from the security challenges we have in Nigeria today. Now, this is the perspective I'm coming from. If we've had someone like Obasanjo, if you could remember, I can't remember the name of the community that Obasanjo went ahead at the time to deal with.
Yes.
Yeah, to deal with. If we have a president that is as strong-willed as that, these issues will not continue to fester the way it has continued to fester since 2011, when we had that major Boko Haram attack till this moment. 2009 rather. What we had, 2011 was another major attack. I think that was when we had the Nyanya blast. So this crisis has continued to fester. And it is because they are somewhere highly benefiting from this insecurity challenges.
How do we uproot?
That's what I'm saying. That because our government is not ready to do what is right. If our government is ready to do what is right, the government, it's not like the security. We can all read the news. They know, we can still read. Despite the fact that there has been insecurity challenges, we can still read news of our Nigerian army. What's it called? Taking over some certain settlement of terrorists and bandits across the country. Also, over in the southeast, in the northeast, in the north, we've seen the news about that. So definitely, the government and the security chiefs, they've identified to a huge extent where these people are. So if these things have been identified, let them destroy them completely. Let them uproot them completely.
Destroy them completely, uproot them completely. The words of Amid Fateh, and I think Daniel Ayoto is sharing similar sentiments. Unfortunately, we do not have enough time to pick all the topical stories that are making the rounds in the country, and we pick just three topics that are eating up the polity, and we'll try to dissect them and talk about them and give our opinions to them. Yes, it's the roundtable. It's your show. It's our show. We are here because of you, and we are definitely sure that you are at that end of the divide because we are here. It's symbiotic relationship. Thank you very much to the guys that are making things work, are pressing the right buttons, huge earphones on their ears, whispering right here and there to ensure that the right angles are being done. Thank you to our super duper producer. You need to see the wonderful attire she's having on this wonderful afternoon. Melanie Shola, Sulaiman Adeni is the man switching things up while Olalekan Olabode, the man with his hands in his pockets doing the right things. So on behalf of Fatih, Ahmed, and Daniel Ayotoye, my name is Shegun Dwa. I was saying, have yourselves a fantastic Thursday. And as we get into the weekend tomorrow, do not be weakened by the weekend. Bye for now.